Hi, I'm Paul Duchesne. Today is Tuesday, May 24th, 2021. Welcome to Mama Paul in the Kitchen. Well, a week ago this Tuesday, we started the Master Cleanse, or Lemonade Fast as it's popularly known. For this was the book that we've been using. And I had two mistakes on last week's show. One, I held I had a picture of the book up on the side here, and I left it up for almost the second half of the show. And that's a little glitch that I've been having a problem working with as I do the production here, and I'm responsible for taking the images up and down. The other mistake I made was I said on the fast they advise you to do this sort of a flush every day with a salt water flush instead of having an enema. You drink like a quart of salt water. So you got like 4 cups of salt water and 2 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of salt is what the recipe called for. Last week I said 2 tablespoons of salt. Now, when you're reading in the book here, he also mentions that some people have a different reaction to the 2 teaspoons of salt, and maybe you need to increase it, maybe you need to decrease it. When I did the 2 tablespoons, I did the 2 tablespoons the first day, and then I did 2 teaspoons a few days after that. I did it every other day. I didn't do it every day. And with the 2 tablespoons, I had almost a normal reaction that you would have, meaning that I was in the bathroom during that first hour afterwards. But when I did the 2 teaspoons, I wasn't. Not only wasn't I, but I actually did my morning meditation for an hour, no problem at all, came out and did a few more things before there was any activity. So for me, the larger amount of salt actually worked better than the lesser amount of salt. And I don't think there's a big problem, although there were some people on the internet that intimated that there might be a little bit of a problem. Now, as far as the juice went, the fast, we were on the lemonade fast, we were eating the same thing. We're eating about this much, about 2 of these, about 8, I get maybe 8 ounces in here, 8, 16, 24. So we're doing about 6 to 8 cups a day, 6 to 8 ounce cups a day of a mixture. So you started off with lemon. So I squeezed all these lemons last week. So I had lemon juice, and then you add maple syrup and cayenne pepper to it, and that creates what I call the concentrate. And you would take 6 ounces of that and add water to it, fill up your glass, and be drinking that all during the day. Now, the reason I wanted to break the fast on the air here, and we're going to break the fast with oranges. He recommended having orange juice to break the fast. I have a few glasses of orange juice, which is a little bit different than the lemon cayenne pepper. So he's got you breaking the fast with orange juice for the whole day, maybe even 2 days of juices, and then he finally gets you into some raw foods and raw vegetables. We're not going to do that. I'm going to break the fast with the orange juice first thing. Then I'm going to put together a fruit salad, and in maybe an hour or so I'll do a little meditation in between, and we'll have a fruit salad. And then after that I'll make 2 vegetables. I'm going to make a vegetable soup for the night, and I'll make a vegetable dish for the night. So this was going to be part 1 while I just broke the fast. So if it's not too lengthy, I'll do a part 2 a little bit. And the reason I wanted to do it live was, the thing about fasting can be sort of funny. Years ago, fasting was really popular in Northern California when I first got here in the 70s, very popular. And it was so popular, regular juice fasting, that everybody was trying to one-up everybody else. So after about a year of this intensity focus on the fasting, somebody wound up making the newspapers and claimed to be a breatharian. And he went on he was quite popular for like 2 or 3 months almost, this guy. And he claimed to be a breatharian, and he was living on just breathing and not eating anything. Well, the guy got busted at a McDonald's in Sausalito one afternoon. And that's how hysterical this whole thing was. Somebody happened to walk in, they get a picture of the guy, and makes it to the paper, and he busts this whole breatharian philosophy. The other funny incident was when we first got here, we needed some babysitters. We hired this fellow, Joel. He was very, very nice, very gentle, very good with the kids and everything. We hung out with him a little bit. Well, he was continuously fasting, this guy. This guy was living on juice. And he would be mostly carrot juice, a little carrot, beet, and celery. He drank so much carrot juice that his skin was turning orange. I'm not kidding you. His skin was literally turning orange. And most people, when they fast, you start to get a little bit colder, which is why with the lemonade fast, the cayenne pepper keeps you warm. So your body temperature drops a little bit to get cold. And as the winter comes along, people that are fasting and in Northern California, they vamoose out of here. And they head to Hawaii or Southern California or someplace where it's warmer. Well, not Joel. He stayed. He stuck it out. And he was drinking, instead of carrot juice all through the winter, he would drink seaweed that he would soak in water. He would soak seaweeds in water, kombu mostly, and drink that. We went out with him once to have a coffee. And we're in the coffee shop, and the wife and I are having a little coffee and a little snack. And suddenly he pulls out this dental floss. And he starts flossing his teeth. I'm seeing it. It's like, oh my God, this guy's weird, but this is getting a little bit over the top. So I obviously said something to him. And he said, well, if you guys are going to sit here and drink all your coffee, I can have some oral pleasure myself. Okay, well, that was my story with those are my two fasting stories. So we're going to break the fast now. People are wondering how much weight did one lose. I actually lost 7 pounds, and the wife lost almost 10 pounds. So we've been on it for, actually the wife lost almost 15 pounds. So we've been on it for 7 days, and she lost about 2 pounds a day. I lost a little bit more than a pound a day. I don't need to lose anything, and it was more cleansing for me than losing weight. And there's another thing. Whether if you're overweight and going on a fast, the crucial problem you could have is if your body is just overweight and you've got a lot of fat on it and everything, and you're on some kind of a fast, it'll eliminate it. But if your body is loaded with a lot of toxins and you're overweight, that could run into a little bit of a difficulty. And if I have time, I'll talk about that later on. But right now, I just want to do the orange juice, make the orange juice, and show you what I'm going to fix for later. So we're going to get going with the oranges here. Probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 oranges. I used to eat a lot of oranges when I was a kid, and notorious amount of oranges. And I have hardly had an orange since. There was this one incident where I must have eaten, I was probably in the 8 to 12 category, and I must have eaten about at least a dozen, if not 18, dozen and a half oranges in one sitting. And the amount of acid that went into my system was so great, it caused me a lot of internal discomfort, visit the doctor, and it was claimed that the lining on my stomach got damaged for the rest of my life at that time. And it may be the case, because I've had digestive issues, severe digestive issues all my life. And I avoid most citrus fruits. And in the Ayurvedic category of people, being a Pitta type, citrus isn't the best thing for me. Even strawberries can even be a little bit too acid for me. So you want to make sure the foods you're eating are the right foods for you, because what's good for you, what's good for somebody else isn't necessarily good for you. So just because one person does really well on something doesn't mean everybody will. All right, so I got, oh my goodness, I got almost a whole cup of orange juice out of just 3 oranges. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 3 more oranges. I'll make a glass of here for the wife. She's anxiously waiting for this also. We both are. The week was going pretty well. I never really felt tired. Honest to God, I never felt tired at all. The maple syrup in this formula just continuously gives you the energy you need. Years ago, I was on the first juice fast I ever did was in San Francisco, probably 1976. I was working at AT&T at the time, and I was so weak. I did it for a whole week. I did probably a 10-day fast. And during that time I worked, and I went into the city, I worked at the AT&T. I would go out at lunchtime, take a walk. I couldn't lift my foot over the curb. I was so weak. And that was a juice fast. And when you go on a juice fast, they advise you don't go to work. They tell you don't go to work, stay home, rest, take baths, do dry brush massages. You want to increase the elimination, because that's what's going on when you're on a fast. Your body is eliminating. So some people might wind up getting headaches or some irritable symptoms from the discharge of all the toxins that are in your body. That's the main reason you're on this fast. You're discharging the toxins in your body, your organs are getting a fresh start, and in many cases you wind up getting your cells get rejuvenated at a faster rate, so you wind up coming out of it in much better shape than you went into it. Okay, there we go. We got 2 full cups of orange juice. So the big thing I want to show you is I didn't get emaciated. I didn't get you know, really weird on anything. And I was able to work during the bloody thing. So here we go. But I have been thinking about food. There's no doubt that I have been thinking about food for the last especially 4 days. The first 2 days, the second and third day are the hardest day. The first day you're really into it and you're doing it, and the second day you're doing it and you really start to feel a little bit hungry. By the third day it starts to ease off. Third, fourth, and the fifth and sixth days, the last 2 days were actually the easiest, and I feel like I could go on and do this a little bit longer, which frequently happens when you're on a fast. Having said that, I'm not going to, because my mental state wants me to eat, and I want to have some food and relax tonight and do something different. So here's the end of a 7-day master cleanse. Well, that is absolutely delicious. Hopefully this was part 1, and we'll pick it up a little later. I'll do part 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little salad. So I'm going to have the orange juice to start the day, and then I'm going to have a fruit salad, and then a vegetable salad, maybe a little vegetable dish later. But I'm keeping this up in the realm of vegetable. I'm not moving into any flours. I'm going to avoid flour. So I'll have this all either fruits, vegetables raw, or cooked vegetables today. I'll figure this thing out, do it a little bit later. I'm going to make a fruit salad now, which I'll have in an hour or so, and then we'll do part 2 of this, and we'll finish off the day cooking the rest of the vegetables. See you in a little while. Peace, patience, and persistence.